Hello, everyone. Thank you for coming to this session for the Self Kare Summit. My name is Karolyn Martin. I am Miss Moore County from the Miss America organization here in North Carolina, and it is time for our next session of the Self Kare Summit. I'm going to introduce our speaker, but before I do, I want to tell you a little bit more about my social impact initiative. It is called #SelfCare Eat to Success, and it is all about teaching our community to eat in a way that fuels our minds and bodies to success while taking the focus off of weight and appearance. And for that, I do talk mainly about nutrition and body image, but I do talk about all of the aspects of wellness because that is important for our well-rounded success just outside of eating. But I am not an expert in all of those realms of wellness. Really, nutrition and the body image, those are the places that I am well versed in. So I wanted to bring some other people along for this weekend to tell you about all the other types of wellness there are to offer. And our presenter for this session will be telling us a little bit more about mental health. So I'm going to introduce her and then we'll get started. A Benedict College psychology major, she is an honors engagement leader in the school's honors program, where she leads the mental and spiritual wellness seminars. She's the creator of the Create Your Change social media platform on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube that promotes positive mental health through creative outlets. She loves helping others and learning more about the world around her. And as the new year comes in, she is looking forward to expanding her horizons and pushing herself to continue this movement of mental health advocacy and overall wellness. Our presenter today is Nam Miss Covington Fidelina Jean Francois. I'm so sorry about that. You can take it away.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to coming to my class today. I'm so excited for you guys to be here. Let me pull up my presentation so you guys can get all the information that we have for today. We love Zoom, huh? Skip this and technology, always. Okay, so my presentation, of course, is on mental health, and mental health begins with me. Basically, mental health is really something that we all need to be more focused on, and we need to have more exposure about, and knowing that mental health starts with us is where I wanted to take us today in our little journey for this presentation. So make sure, as we continue on, before we get into our first little activity, to grab 2 separate sheets of paper and a pen or pencil, anything that you like to use. It's going to be a little interactive, so you want to make sure you go grab those. Take me along with you so you can hear what I'm saying while you go grab those papers if it's not readily accessible at the moment. And make sure it's paper you're willing to get rid of, okay? So, of course, the lovely Miss Karolyn has already explained a little bit about myself, but just to go on about that, I am a psychology major at the illustrious Benedict College, HBCU. I am an advocate for mental health awareness. I'm also a worship leader because I'm very involved with my faith, and I believe my faith has really brought me through many of my life's adversities and things that I thought I couldn't come up from. So faith has been really a part of me. So I became a worship leader because of all of the trials that I've been through. And of course, I'm the creator of the Create Your Change social media platform, accessible on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Can I go back? Okay. So first, we're going to go a little bit of a breakdown of mental health. So we know exactly what mental health is, and we kind of stay away from what people think mental health is. So of course, according to a website, I believe it was mentalhealth.org, mental health is really the emotional, psychological, and social well-being of yourself. It is knowing the effects of our thoughts, feelings, and actions on our minds and behaviors. It helps to determine how we handle stress, relate to others, and make choices, decision-making. It also, really combines with our everyday life. You're never really in a moment where you're not impacted by your mental health. And mental health issues are common, but it can affect your thinking, mood, and behavior. So it's actually a really important aspect of our life. We want to make sure that we are checking in with our mental health to make sure we're not doing things that we wouldn't normally do, or things and making decisions that we wouldn't normally agree with. So continuing on to what mental health is, there are overall a general variety of illnesses that you'll probably notice, but there's also subgroups and continuous subgroups. There's about 300 illnesses that are recorded in the mental health guidebook, which is the DSM-5. If you're a psychology major, you'll know that that's pretty much our go-to for when we go off into the field of therapy, psychology, and all the other fields that we can go to. So the main that I could find were bipolar disorder, persistent depressive disorder, general anxiety disorder, major depressive disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, post-traumatic stress disorder, schizophrenia, and social anxiety disorder. You'll notice that some of those might, seem to click with you a little bit because you'll notice you might have some of the same symptoms as some of these disorders, but sometimes you need to differentiate whether it's a disorder specifically or just you have symptoms of that disorder. And make sure if you're trying to figure out if you have anything, you go seek professional assistance and attention to make sure that what you have is what you have, because sometimes we do misdiagnose a little bit. And there are some universal warning signs, irregularities in eating or sleeping patterns, sudden isolation, irregular drops in moods or mood swings, poor decision making, such as, you're doing things that you would normally do, suddenly out of nowhere, you are excessively taking in alcohol or certain things like that, or doing and partying or doing things that you really don't normally do or wouldn't do under normal circumstances. Lack of empathy and feelings of numbness and thoughts of self-harm, harm to others, or overall self-sabotaging. Those are pretty much the universal signs that you would notice when your mental health is not at the health we would want it to be normally, and how you can notice not only those within yourself, but within others. So you'll notice if you see any of these patterns, you can, intervene and say, hey, I see something's going on. You are a little bit, you're always cheery, but you're a little bit sad now. So, like, what's going on? And how can I help? Or you can say that even to yourself, because you can notice these patterns in yourself when things just aren't as okay as it should be. Now, getting into the bulk of this presentation, putting me first. We're going to start with a quote. Mental health problems don't define who you are. There's something you experience. You walk in the rain and you feel the rain. But importantly, you are not the rain, by Matt Haig. It's important to know that when you are trying to put yourself first in your mental health journey, that you're not simply thinking that you are your negative problems. You are, the negative feelings and emotions that you're going through. You're more than that. You're way more than that. The rain isn't who you are. It's something you experience. It's something you feel. But the most important thing is that you dance through it and go on beyond the rain. Okay? So don't ever think that you are in a position because it's your fault necessarily. It's not. And it's okay for the things that you're going through, for you to go through, as long as you remember to always move forward. Now, some lies that we tell ourselves about mental health. Your issues are insignificant. You should just suck it up and leave it alone. Don't bother others with your problems. No one cares, or you are alone. Those are straight up lies. Sometimes when we're going through our issues, even me personally, when I was going through bullying when I was younger, I would always think that it was my fault, but I shouldn't tell anybody because it's going to bother somebody else. No one wants to deal with it. I'm alone anyway, so why should I bother anyone with my problems? They're not even big anyway. But had I actually sought out and known that those thoughts were lies, I'm pretty sure I would have advanced my mental health journey a lot quicker and more effectively than I have been. But of course, things happen, time goes on. We'll notice our time and our pace is different. But as long as we keep going, really that is what matters. So the truth about mental health, your issues do matter. Don't think that they don't. Just because it seems like someone may have worse issues than you does not mean that you and your matters don't matter. You can't allow yourself to feel. Don't be afraid to, feel that pain, feel that struggle, feel that anxiety. It's okay to express yourself and your negative emotions, but don't let that swallow you whole. You should tell trusting people about your challenges, whether it's a parent, a sibling, a best friend, a spouse, a loved one, or even a teacher, a therapist, a counselor. You should tell somebody when you are feeling low and you feel like you can't push yourself out of your situations. It's okay. And it's honestly better to tell somebody how you feel because you'll feel even lighter. You'll be able to see more clearly once they give you their input or just listen to what you have to say or what you are going through. There are people who care. Just like the list I named, there's someone who cares. Don't think that you're all alone and no one cares at all. There is someone who cares. May not show it in just the most giving you gifts and things like that, but they are caring of you and they're showing it to you in their own way. You just have to figure out what that is. And most importantly, you are not alone. We go in this world, there's about 7 billion people on this planet, probably even more. There's someone who's going to be there for you. And if you believe in the Most High, they are always there for you too. So you are never alone. Don't ever think that. So going into our activity part 1. Okay, so you're going to take out your first sheet of paper, and what you're going to do, you're going to write down some of your negative thoughts, some of the negative things that you have impacted or think that is stopping you from truly being what you would consider mentally healthy. So I'm gonna give you guys a little bit of time for you to write that down. And if you guys will be coming in for the replay, just make sure you pause so you can get all of those downs because you want to make sure that you really get that off your chest. And don't worry, I'll be doing it too. Just sadly don't have my paper with me yet. But in this first activity, you know, make sure you're really digging deep. So don't just think it's, a bad hair day. Even if it is bad hair day that you think is stopping you from achieving your goal for that day, write it down. Write all of the things you think are stopping you from feeling happy, from feeling successful, from really just being positive. Some things about me that I would write down are my depressive thoughts, you know, my anxiety, my self-sabotaging thoughts, my insecurities about success, my comparison for others. Those things are what I would write down. Even my lack of productivity, so procrastination, I would always also put that down because those are the things that sometimes I feel are really blocking me from my success. But it's really a journey on this life. So you want to make sure, you're acknowledging those negative aspects. So, giving you guys a little bit more time. I wonder if you could play like the that game show music. The my singing is awful. It's fine, but just a little waiting game. If you need more time and just a little bit more assistance with this, take the time out once we are finished with the session, once you're finished with the video, or even pausing if you're on the replay. To, thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Okay, guys, I think that is enough time for us on this activity. So you finished wrote everything down, right? I think you know what I'm gonna say. It's kind of obvious. What I want you to do, take that paper, put it in front of your face, say, "You will not define me," and rip it up. Do it. Say, "You will not define me," and rip it up. Let that be a visual representation of you taking your negativity and throwing it out the window, putting it in the trash. If you want to take it a step further, burn it. Negativity happens oftentimes in our life, but we should never let that define who we are, nor stop us from achieving our future goals because we can be more positive and happier as we continue on. But as long as we're letting the negativity hold us back, we'll never see where we can go. We have so much potential, but that sheet of paper holding all of our negativity can sometimes stop us from seeing that. So I want you to look through that paper. Let all of that be that representation, that window of your negativity. Rip it up, throw it away because it's not necessary anymore. Because you will go through it as long as you remember to push through. Let's continue on. So, why should we put ourselves first? You know, in this little picture we have here, sometimes I forget that putting myself first isn't selfish, but necessary. Once you notice going on this life, we always want to, help others. We always want to put others first because we love them. We want to see them succeed. We want them to, prosper in life. But what about us? Sometimes we literally put ourselves on the back burner because we want others to succeed, but we forget about ourselves. So when we put ourselves first, we are shifting our priorities. We're moving the other people who we love dearly to the side sometimes to make sure we're making room for ourselves. It blocks outside noise, blocks out the outside negativity. I have a wonderful coach, Alicia Darby. She had once said that we sometimes plant ourselves in unfertile soil. So whether it's sometimes it can be our families, our communities, our friendships, our jobs, our activities that we're doing. Those places don't allow us to grow the way we need to, or to grow the way we should be, because we are all expected to grow. There's no way that we could stop growing on this earth, on this journey through life. Like, we grow every day. But being in these negative circles, in these unfertile environments, it literally like sucks the life from us that we could achieve. And we aren't able to grow and prosper the way we should. It also helps us find a sense of direction. 2020 was very, very crazy, as we all know. But for me, when I literally thought of moving from thinking of everything that's outside, staying aware, but not letting it get to me and focusing on myself and what I wish to accomplish, I felt so much more confident in myself. I felt so much happier with myself by the end of the year that I literally almost cried because of how much I grew. I blocked out all of the other negativities of the world, staying aware of what's happening, but blocking it out to keep it away from my heart, to protect my heart. And I found my direction of where I wanted to go. I literally pushed myself to be different from what I used to be and achieve and really grab those opportunities that I wouldn't have grabbed before. That's why became an honest engagement leader, because I took that step forward towards what I wanted to go, because I saw my direction. And like I said, when you put yourself first, you gain more confidence and self-love. You start to see more of yourself and really start saying, oh, that's what you can do? Okay. Okay, sis, go off. Go off. You know, and you just start to love yourself wholeheartedly and not just, superficially. You really love yourself, not just because you're gorgeous. Let's face it, we are all gorgeous. Make sure you own your gorgeous self. But you start to love your heart and your mind too. And that's really important. And you also start to notice certain thoughts and behaviors in yourself. So when certain things are going on, when you're a little late or procrastinating off of, studying for that test or doing that assignment for your job, you notice your patterns of starting to procrastinate, or you start to notice your thought process when things are going down and things are becoming stressful. And you're able to notice those, and once you start noticing those, guarantee you'll start being able to flip them around. Stop those negative actions and behaviors from yourself and turn them into positives. Counteract what you would have done if you had stayed the same. And that's how you start growing. Now, how to put me first? We always, talk about putting ourselves first, but sometimes we don't know how we can put ourselves first. So, in the basic terms that I found for myself, one of the ways is to seek self care. You want to focus not only on the spa time, getting yourself dolled up and pretty, but also taking a step back and really thinking to yourself, having meditation, yoga or workouts, blocking out the negativity, taking on different adventures, like taking road trips, changing up your scenery, logging off the social media and all of the platforms so you are really fueling your body and your mind with good things, eating good foods. You can eat your favorite food, you can eat the healthy foods. I guarantee you'll feel much better if you have a mix because you can't just eat junk food all the time, sadly. But you really want to fuel your body with more water, positive energy, and positive food in a sense that you want to eat what you like, but eat good. Listen to what you like, but listen to the good stuff. Drink what you like, but drink the good stuff. You want to fuel your body with the good stuff, the positivity, the things that are really going to help your body in the future. You also want to reflect. You need to reflect on your past actions, behaviors, mistakes, triumphs. You want to take the time to really reflect to yourself. You know, take the time to step away from people, be alone for yourself, and have a moment to think. Reframe the thoughts that turn dark. Because sometimes when you're thinking, you start thinking negative things out of nowhere. But taking those times when you notice that, oh, I'm thinking negative, or when things are kind of like a bad day or like a pretty chill or gloomy day, you'll start thinking negative. Once you notice those, change those into positive thoughts. That's reframing. Once you're changing a negative to a positive thoughts, we want to reframe our minds. We want to celebrate our past wins and current wins. Don't just, think back to what you could have done better, but also think back to what you've already done that was great and how you can continue making that better. You passed that assignment? Wonderful. You got that raise? Awesome. You did that workout well? Great. You want to celebrate those wins, even the small ones. If you're a little bit shy and you said hi to someone for the first time and a stranger too, and you lit up their day by giving them a compliment, that's an achievement too. You want to celebrate those wins. You want to also do positive affirmations when you're thinking. You want to, like I said, when you're reframing, also give yourself positive affirmations. Think to yourself, I am strong, I'm confident, I'm unstoppable. No one can stop me from being who I can be. I am enough, I am worthy, I have value. You want to tell yourself that all the time because you have to believe it. Not others all the time can tell you, you are worthy because sometimes you won't get that recognition from other people. You have to give that to yourself. And you also want to encourage yourself during hard times when you're struggling. You want to make sure you're saying, hey, I know you're going through this. It's okay to feel like this, but we got to keep pushing forward. Don't let yourself fall. We got to keep chugging forward. Let's do this together. Creative activities, which if you want to continue creative activities, don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow all of our social media pages. But enjoy new hobbies that make you think. You have to start thinking differently when you are doing creative activities. That's what it forces you to do. And once it does that, it helps you also to reframe your mind. It helps you to think differently. If you want to, you can draw, sing, learn something new, read a book, take a walk, create a new space, rearrange your room. All of those things and even more. Get creative in thinking of your creative activities. It really makes you think, and it also changes your perspective. You want to change your perspective on life because it's always changing. You're never going to know truly what's what, which is right and wrong. You want to make sure you change your perspective. So much information is being brought out nowadays that nothing is ever going to be the same. So you want to change your perspective, be more open-minded and open to different things. And being creative helps you to relieve that stress as well, so that you can reframe your mind, think differently, think outside the box, so that when you do go to that problem that you were dealing with before, you can think differently about it and think of a different solution that you probably wouldn't have thought of before. Lastly, seek help. It's okay to need to call on somebody when you need to say something or when you need to speak. It's perfectly fine because you are not on this road alone. Me, I've confided in my sister. She has been my confidant for pretty much everything that was going wrong in my life that I thought. And she's helped me to really rethink and reframe my mind. She's helped me to grow into a wonderful young lady, actually. Her involvement in my life was pretty heavy, along with my parents. All of them have taught me what it is to be okay in my struggles, that my struggles are fine, they're normal. But as long as I reframe my mindset and push through, listen and watch my surroundings and see what's really happening, I can really be successful. And you can too. Seek out that loved one that you know you can confide in. If you can't, there are therapists that are out there. It's okay to say you're going to therapy. That's pretty much what we needed. And I think it was coined in 2020 that everyone should be going to therapy because it's okay. We're living through a pandemic. Therapists know that we are struggling very heavily. So they have a lot of empathy for us, sympathy, because some of them are going through the same things. So seeking out that help is necessary when you feel you are ready to do that. You can always just go to a loved one, a best friend, anyone, a counselor, you can go to those people. But also think about going to a therapist if it's necessary for you. Because not everyone needs a therapist, but it might be a good option for you. Now, let's get into this notion of mentally healthy. You know, when I think of mentally healthy, it's not a destination. You won't randomly one day, like after a long run, get to this place of, I'm finally mentally healthy and nothing can go wrong. No, mentally healthy is a journey. It's being okay with not being okay sometimes, but not staying in that not okay place. You know, you'll be more happier, overall happier, overall enjoying life, but life does take turns. And so when you're going through those downfalls, you experience that, you let yourself feel in that moment, but you keep pushing forward. That to me is what mental health is. It's being okay with knowing that I'm going to have dips in my journey, but as long as I continue forward, I'll have more highs than I do lows. And I'll be prepared for when the lows come. I'll be prepared to quickly or as efficiently as I can step out of it. Just snap out of it and move forward. But everyone's version of mentally healthy is different. Mine is, being okay on the roller coaster. Some may think that it's being constant with their therapist. That's what they believe mental health is because they're continually getting that release, with that therapist or even more. I can't explain what other people's version of mentally healthy is because it's really personal to them. So once you are thinking about being mentally healthy and mental health in general, I want you to take a second to think what you believe mental health is. Okay? But always remember, mentally healthy is very achievable. It's achievable. It may take a while for you to get to where you believe you are mentally healthy. It may take a moment, a short or long time to really get to that stage that you wish to be with your mental health, but it's achievable. You can get there. There's no way, no one, nothing that can stop you from getting there. But it takes your effort. Just like if you want to be healthy in your body, you need to eat good. You need to work out as much as you can, stay active, and do all the things that you need to do. The same thing. You want to take the time to reflect, get that release for your mental health. You want to fuel yourself with good things, good thoughts, reframe your negative mindset. You want to make sure you keep doing those things and more that you see so you can continue to be mentally healthy. It's a journey. You'll never just get to one place and then you're just there and surprising and suddenly you're just mentally healthy for the rest of your life. It's not how that works, sadly. But you can keep going until the end where you can officially say, for a good amount of my life, I was mentally healthy. That's what we'll say about our physical health, about our heart health and all those things, because we have to keep working on those things, you know. So let's include mental health in that too. Finally, to activity part 2. So in this time, what you're going to do is actually write down your goals on the side of the paper. So you're going to have it in landscape, long ways, right? You're going to write down your goals on the side of the paper, all the goals that you want to achieve today, tomorrow, next week, next month, 6 months, year, 5 years, 10 years, however you want to do in those increments. Write down your goals. And I want you to take the moment anytime today, or even at the end of this presentation, draw what you think you would look like mentally healthy. Draw it. You can draw the highs and lows. You can draw anything you want. I want you to just take the moment, put on some lo-fi, put on some music that you can think to, and just draw it. Get creative with it. And once you have that, you're going to put it on your vision board. You're going to put it on your vision board because you want to always have that reminder of where you want to go and how you can see yourself as mentally healthy, so you can continue to build on skills to be mentally healthy. And once you become what you want to be, it's nothing I can say. You'll be so, it'll just be so unexplainable how happier you'll feel, how successful you'll feel. You don't have to get a PhD to be happy and successful. It's not necessary. But focusing on your mental health is. And you'll feel all of those positive emotions, not just for a second, for a long time. Yes, you'll have those dips, but overall, it'll be so much worth it. So that concludes my presentation for today. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being a part. And thank you so much for just taking the time to listen and really put yourself into your journey for mental health. We also want to thank Ms. Karolyn Martin for this opportunity, because of course this would not have happened without her just dreams of something bigger to help everyone else learn different parts about wellness and to get into their wellness, especially for this year, because we already know it's already been crazy. But we want to thank her. Make sure you give her a shout out. Make sure you give her a follow. Make sure you follow her on her journey as well, because it's necessary. She is all about wellness, and she is going to help you on her knowledge on wellness. But also, if you want to follow me too, I'm on Instagram and Facebook, Lena for Life, and my name for Facebook. Also, make sure you check out create.your.change on Instagram and MYM Create Your Change on Facebook. And last thing is, while Ms. Karolyn is giving the final parts of the presentation, here are some helpful resources if you feel you need to talk to someone when you're in a crisis, or if you want to direct someone to crisis. So go ahead and take a picture, screenshot, write them down, anything you want to do, and the floor is yours.
Thank you so much. I just want to take a second to honor you. This was such an amazing presentation, and I think it's so important that we remember with all of these other aspects of wellness how important our mental health is, because it does play into everything else. So thank you so much for that. Of course, everyone, you can go join our Facebook group, the Self Care Kitchen, for more wellness tips and tricks throughout the entirety of the year. Feel free to register for some more classes and donate to the Food Trust to help provide healthy food to all people across our country, regardless of their economic status. And then come to our last session for the raffle. I just got in contact with a local fitness center, and there is some really exciting stuff for the raffle. So I can't wait for you to see what is there. Other than that, just make sure you follow both of us all the rest of our years, and I'll see Whitney, especially for some more classes today and tomorrow. Bye.